welcome to the collapse experiment, where I try to give you some ideas as to what to do during the collapse, which we are currently experiencing if you haven't noticed. So, today, shoe goo. This is something I picked up a while ago. Where I got it was our local hardware store. It was for $6.99. May seem like a lot, but considering what you can do with it, it may come in handy. Considering you may not be able to buy new shoes during a collapse, and if you do come across them, they could be fairly expensive, especially if they're a good brand. So I have two different pairs here. The weird thing is there's only one shoe for each pair that fell apart in some way. This one completely separated, and I really like this pair. Really comfortable. It's just it's broken in, comfortable, and last summer it started to peel at the toe, and eventually it just went all the way to the heel and completely came off. Fairly quick, at no time at all. And the other is this Timberland. It's a good name brand. It's a comfortable shoe, but as you can see, right here on the side where it bends, came apart. I have a feeling this happened for a couple of different reasons. There was like some weird tar type substance that was used to glue it in there. And then this stupid thing. This is probably, for the reputation that Timberland has, this is probably like the crappiest insert that they could have picked. And it has their name on it. It's not like this is aftermarket replacing whatever came with the boot. No, this is some crappy foam at the toes, at the heel, just completely disappeared. It's gone. So I'm going to have to replace that. And in the meantime, I'm going to glue this back together, try to put it back into one piece, and go from there. So again, a really nice boot, very sturdy. It still has a lot of life to it. I mean, here's the other one. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's solid. It's still in one. Look at the tread. There's still it's almost like brand new tread. There's still a ton of life there. And for some reason, the top of the boot is falling apart. And as for this one, yeah, it's a little worn down, but again, not bad. Still a lot of life left in here. And unfortunately, the glue failed. So there's a couple things you'll have to have for this. Some vices to hold it down as the glue settles. I've got a couple different sizes. I may have to get crafty and try to put some boards or something on the inside of the shoe in order to hold it down. And let's get to it, shall we? So right off the bat, I will tell you this stuff smells like testers. The modeling glue. I will say it has a very similar consistency to it as well. It's almost like a larger tube of modeling glue. And it seems to be attaching fairly easily. This stuff is waterproof. It is durable. It's supposed to be very flexible, which in the case of this Timberland boot is going to be needed with where it came apart. So put a little bit more towards the toe here. I'm not happy with how much is in there so far. Okay. And I think we have most of this covered. It takes, I think, up to 72 hours for it to completely cure. I'm going to want to put some of that right here where it's already coming apart again. Try to wedge some down in there. Not the most attractive stuff, okay? So it is noticeable as to what we're doing here. But you can't get a new pair of shoes, or you want to get your money's worth out of the pair that you already bought, this is the way to go. I'm sure that there's more professional ways of doing this, but we are just trying to extend the life of this boot. I don't know if it's going to be a week, a month, a couple years, who knows. I like wearing these boots outside in the garden, working on the lawn, things of that nature. They're not steel toes, so I don't use them for doing any type of wood cutting. But there we go. As you can see, that glistening part, that is where the glue went. And set that aside and let it do its thing. On to the next one. Alright, the instructions say to put a nice thick coat on here. I don't know what they mean by thick coat, so I just tried to make sure that all of this is covered. Now here comes the tricky part, because we've got this heel. It's probably going to need to be held down. We also have the toe. See the problem we are having here. Wants to separate. So the glue wants to work. The glue definitely wants to do its thing. However, the rest of the shoe does not want to cooperate. So we're going to start using these. See if we can help it do what it is that it wants to do. If not, there is a local shoe repair guy that I'd rather not have to resort to. And using this vise might leave a mark, but I like these boots. So, even if I have to leave a mark, I want to try to get this back to where it needs to be. heel's not lining up. Maybe this is the job for a professional. I don't understand why this isn't. I have a feeling we're going to need 3 vices on here, and thankfully I do have a third. This is not going to be the most attractive job ever. Right here. Try to get this heel back where it's lined up, like so. Hold that middle spot down, which involves, unfortunately, using this weird cluster muck. I don't know if you can see that. This one's all kinds of messed up. But it's going to be the only way I can down this middle section. And I'm gonna say it right now, this shoe might just be a lost cause. The way that this is going. So we've got a lot of open spots here. This vise isn't working very well, unfortunately. Kind of knew that was going to happen under the circumstances. See what the other side looks like. Just as messed up. You can see why they said to use thick layer. But maybe we can save it. I have a feeling the Timberland's going to be fine, but this one, I may just have to take it in. I don't know when though. I don't really feel like driving into town just to have a boot repaired. Okay, so it might look like a mess, but a little bit of ingenuity here, and the sole is lined up pretty good with the boot. Yes, I had to put these boards in here and remove the little clamp, but there's a pretty good seal going on there. No, I don't want the leather squished down like that, but as of right now, the main problem is keeping the sole of the boot on, right? So if we can accomplish that, anything after that will be dealt with accordingly, and we'll get an update in a couple days to see how this worked out. Okay, so quick update. This is just after finishing the clamping down the other boot. This is the Timberland again. You know, I only put this on like a half an hour ago, and already it's dry to the touch. That doesn't mean it's ready to be worn, it just means that this is already set in. Of course, it shouldn't be tinkered with, touched with. Don't go bending it or anything, because that could actually ruin the bond. You want it to fully set in before you even try putting the shoe back on. So, but it works fairly quick. You're going to want to keep that in mind when you're using this glue. And and here's the update from the boots that I repaired. This was about 2 weeks ago now. So these are the Timberlands, waterproof, very sturdy, not steel toe, but they're in really good condition. I picked these up a while ago. They're actually used from Goodwill. Both of these were. And you can tell they still have a ton of life in them. I think it was just a bad product line, unfortunately. Timberland is a fairly decent brand, from my understanding. Although when I do come across them, they're fairly expensive. So when I find them at a decent price, I'll pick them up. And unfortunately, these there's a reason they were donated. So anyways, I used the shoe goo here. You can see the glistening portion of where it was repaired. I still have to get a new liner for the inside because these are crap. I don't know what the company was thinking. But for $5, I wanted something that was durable that I could wear outside and not care if I ruined them. Unfortunately, they only lasted a few days out in the field. So, so far the glue seems to be holding up fairly well. Haven't worn them outside. I did wear them in the house to see if this was going to separate at all. It appears to be more of an issue with whatever they use to bind this together not being flexible enough with walking. Who knows? Maybe they were cutting their budget or something and it didn't work out for them. But so far the shoe goo is working well. Then there's this pair. I'm still not sure what the heck these are, but they are an extremely comfortable boot. I did love these until the bottom fell off. And I re-glued the entire thing. Unfortunately, it's not straight. Come on, focus camera. And again, I got these for yard work, clearing trails, getting fallen limbs and trees out of the woods for firewood and fence posts. This shoe here, it was starting to split in the front, so I added some shoe goo there to try to stop that and maybe prevent the rest of it from doing the same thing. If it does, it might just be a lost cause. There is a shoe repair place in town, and I just don't know if they're worth doing that. But if the shoe goo works, then yeah, I will be happy with that. It seems to be. Again, I wore these. They're still really comfortable. Even though it's like an eighth of an inch off from where it should be, I didn't really notice anything while walking in them. Not like a tripping hazard or anything. So, yeah, you might want to keep some shoe goo in your house in case you can't get any new shoes. You don't want to travel into town and you don't have the money to spend on new footwear. You can extend the life of what you have, and for I think it was $6 or $7. Already, I mean these, what, 70 to $100, something like that for a new pair. These I have no idea. I'm glad that I could fix them and have them working again. I don't know if you can see the green on here, but I was using these for yard work, and I don't know if it was the moisture that did that. Cooking some rice, so that's what that sound is. But yeah, I might just have to be conscious about what I'm doing when I'm wearing these, because it could have just been everything from the grass to the moisture to, I don't know, could have just been the age, honestly. I don't know how old these are. And even the labeling on the bottom is gone. That's from where I had the vise on there to hold it down. But yeah, something to keep in mind. Another thing to purchase if you happen to see it at your local hardware store: shoe goo. Keep on typing.